Good afternoon. The European Union has again delayed introducing a fingerprint and facial scan check system for non-EU citizens at all EU borders. It was due to be rolled out on the 10th of November, but has been pushed back yet again after Germany, France and the Netherlands said their systems were not ready. Meanwhile, sources say there have been no live testing of the EU software on the UK's border system. The EU Home Affairs Commissioner said there was not a new timetable for its implementation, but it would be phased in. The delay is the latest in a long line of setbacks for the system, which was originally meant to be introduced in 2022. The entry-exit system will mean non-EU citizens need to register biometric data at any EU border to get in rather than stamping passports. The idea is to make a digital record linking passports to biometric data. Passengers will be given handheld devices so they can register their details in their cars. The EES will apply to road borders, airports, ports, train stations, including Eurostar services, and at all other external EU borders. The EU Justice and Home Affairs Council will meet next week to discuss the rollout of the system. The Interior Minister yesterday asked the European border agency Frontex to seek permission from African nations to patrol their waters in a bid to save lives on the perilous migration route from the continent to the Canary Islands. Fernando Grande Malaska said Frontex had operated in African territory during the last peak of migration to the Canary Islands back in 2006 and already worked with Spain's border forces gathering intelligence. Now it should seek permission from Mauritania, Senegal and Gambia, countries of origin and transit for migrants on the precarious boats, to take on human traffickers and curb departures. Frontex could only truly protect Europe's borders if it operated outside of them as well, he said. Meanwhile, the Canary Islands president has urged the Socialist government and the main opposition People's Party to reach an urgent agreement on the severe migration crisis affecting the islands and to put aside their bitter political dispute over the migration crisis and seek an agreement. His complaints referred to the decision announced on Saturday by the PP's parliamentary spokesman to suspend negotiations with the PSOE over the crisis in the region. The Canary Islands and the Spanish enclaves of Ceuta and Melilla in North Africa have come under heavy migratory pressure, especially since last summer. The main stumbling block to an agreement between the government and the opposition is the proposal by the government to reform the current foreigners' law. The government wants to ensure that Spain's 17 autonomous communities are obliged to accept a certain quota of unaccompanied migrant minors. The measure is currently voluntary. That's the latest from TRE. I'm Bob James.